no way I'm letting you take my 38-year-old daughter back to your place, Tyler! Unless you want a knuckle sandwich! Bet you didn't see that one going. I got you, you little stickler. You do anything to my daughter, and I'll tickle ya. I will tickle you, Tyler! We talk a lot about boy mums here on this channel, so it's about damn time that girl dads receive the same treatment. Because, you know, at least with boy mums, they're not looking to harm their son's girlfriend. No, they want to be the girlfriend. But with girl dads, they're looking to put their daughter's boyfriend into a grave if he doesn't get her favorite flavor of a Starbucks drink. Or even worse, being obsessed with who gets into her pants. Ow! I have always found it to be so cringe to whenever a dad is so obsessed with his daughter's autonomy to the point where he's thinking about her intimacy as a negative thing. But if the son wants to get mad puss, I mean, he's king, bro. He'd cheer Jamesy boy on, but the daughter? No! No! Well, recently, a father went viral for proposing to his 20-year-old daughter with a purity ring. Yeah, you heard that 1000% correct, and you may be thinking, well, drama queen, what if it's a religious thing? I do not care, mate, and that's not a very good justification either. Your kids do not owe you their virginity until marriage. You owe them to use a crumb of your brain, brother.
I am about to give Sarah a purity ring, but I'm going to do it in a very special way. I am actually going to make it look like a marriage proposal. Now, don't get the wrong idea. It's not a marriage proposal, okay? This is just... I'm very grateful that she has remained pure to this point and is continuing to remain pure, and I want to give this to her as a sign that I'm proud of her. You're 20 years old.
Duh.
Okay. And most kids your age are not pure. Have not remained pure.
Sad but true.
Well, I want to thank you for remaining pure.
Okay.
Okay? And I want to give you something.
What?
I want to give you something.
Okay.
Okay? So, Sarah.
Yeah. What are you doing? What? What is this?
Sarah, will you wear this ring as a sign and a promise to God and to me to remain pure until the day you're married?
So let me get this right. You're not pure anymore because you decided that you wanted to experiment with people, you know, see what you like and what you don't like in a relationship. Same with mattress action. And you know what I find hilarious too? It's always these kinds of dudes who watch porn in secret. That's what I've noticed. And I don't really think that's very holy, Tim. On top of that, to brainwash your own daughter into staying pure for God and yourself is very creepy. It is a type of control that he masks as it being a part of the faith, when in reality, he most likely thinks of his daughter in very strange ways. I mean, what gives? A purity proposal? I would never talk to my dad again. And I don't care what anyone says about this. Men who are so fixated on their daughter's private life like this are men that can't be trusted. It's not up to you to control your daughter's autonomy, but this is not normal.
Yes. That is gorgeous.
Give me your left hand. Okay, this ring will remain on your left ring finger until the day your husband puts another ring there in its place.
Okay.
As a sign that you will remain pure.
Nice.
I love you.
I love you too.
My sweet girl.
Brother, you shouldn't even be worrying about her purity. You should have been focusing on her learning to clean her room. But there's maybe something going on here that we aren't privy to, because it is always a red flag whenever somebody's personal space is so disorganized like this. And I'm not necessarily saying that this father did anything, you know, but being controlled to this extent is genuinely frustrating. And maybe the daughter has just learned to placate her dad for the time being. ring. This video garnered all sorts of people to have opinions. Those who believe that this is such a beautiful moment between a father and a daughter. It's not weird at all when a dad wants to show how much he loves his daughter and wants her to be happy. It's actually really sweet. Oh yes, because he totally wants her to be happy, but only on his terms. Stay pure for him until she finds the right suitor for him to marry her off to. You should never be thinking about your child's private life in this manner as a parent. So much so that you propose with a purity ring. And just a reminder for those who are coping and seething about my words, having consensual bedroom time with a partner before marriage isn't wrong, and it has absolutely nothing to do with being pure. Some of the absolute worst people you know will wait until marriage, but they have done awful things. And that is not that pure. It has nothing to do what you do with someone else's pants buddy. And funnily enough, just today, the father responded to all of the quote-unquote fuss that has been made about his purity ring proposal to his daughter on Twitter. He says he's sorry for the way he worded it. Bro, the problem isn't the way that you worded this. The problem is the purity proposal in of itself. Are you that dense? Are you that dense?
Honestly, it all started out innocently enough with just one single creator who saw our purity ring proposal video and decided that it was creepy and weird and that it was inappropriate. So that video went viral. And as a result, other creators picked the same video up and had to put their 2 cents worth in. It landed in news sites and blogs with everybody coming after me for giving Sarah a purity ring, and I did it like a proposal. It was supposed to be sweet and nice and make her feel better, but because of the way I worded it, and yeah, that could have been better. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not great with that stuff. I was just trying to let her know that I would be there for her to support her. It was completely taken out of context. Whatever, no big deal.
Look, mate, you may be able to manipulate your family into believing whatever narrative you want to perpetuate that day, but you can't manipulate us, especially myself, as I don't like how people use their faith as a shield from criticism. You're not exempt from criticism just because you are of faith, because then that would mean that you could get away with absolutely anything and everything just because I'm so-and-so. Yes, mate, it is weird to not only propose to your daughter, but have it be a purity ring so that you have full and total control over her body and autonomy until she finds the right guy for you to marry her off to. I know that this is probably really all new to him, as he's most likely never had a taste of his own medicine before, and Twitter is giving that to him. And look, Twitter is a cesspool. Let me just say that. And I am even surprised that Twitter is against this purity ring proposal thing. But people are not wrong for finding this situation icky, because it is. But it continues, and it's very clear to me in my big drama queen opinion that the father of the TikTok Dream Team fam has successfully manipulated his daughter into believing that what he's doing is 100% appropriate. This next response that we're going to dissect is 19 minutes. So I'm going to be making this pretty digestible for you guys to understand, as no one's watching all of that. Like, let's be real here. Sorry or congratulations on what happened, I guess.
Now, that kind of brings us into the way we appear. So, Sarah and I have a very close relationship.
Yes, we do.
And we're always hugging, we're always touching. But that's the way we show affection.
I've always been a daddy's girl from the day I was born. I was literally born on Father's Day, so it was kind of natural.
Exactly.
So the manipulation is already starting off very strong here, as nobody has a problem with the fact that a father and a daughter, especially these two, are hugging and being really close with one another. Fun fact, but I too am very close with my dad, and he's one of my best friends. I hug him all the time. And I'm sure that so many people out there who are blessed with having a great relationship with their dads also hug their dads too. Literally, nobody is disputing that. People take issue with a father being so obsessed with who goes into his daughter's pants. At 20, she is grown, and so much so, he's proposed to her with a purity ring. If you don't see what's wrong in that, I can't help you, man.
So, but it's not, there's nothing sinister about it, people, okay? Look, the way we feel, and the reason why we haven't acknowledged this up until now, is if you look at a dad and daughter dance, and because they're hugging, or touching a certain way, people are all up about her because she rested her hand on my belly once when we were hugging. Okay, if you see that and automatically go to, oh, that's inappropriate, or ew, that's gross. That's got more to do with your mind than with us. It's not anything wrong with us.
This is the video in question they're talking about. And look, I don't know, man. I'd have to agree with the people that are saying this is slightly inappropriate. I mean, he wouldn't be okay with her touching another man like that, but if it's him, go to town, girl. And the absolute brainwashing that is taking place here is so infuriating. So it would be wrong for me to assume that it's inappropriate that I'm seeing two people doing it out in public, outside of a McDonald's, and it's my fault that I have a dirty mind. No, pal. We're just calling it how we see it. The purity ring proposal to your daughter is inappropriate, but none of us are in the wrong for seeing that in a certain light. What else did you mean by proposing to her with a purity ring? And to constantly be looking at your daughter for reassurance is weird to me as well, because it's like he's expecting her to constantly agree with him. Not to mention the fact, I don't even know how I forgot this, but the mum, his wife, her mum, is filming all of this. She does most of the filming for this TikTok account. She's sometimes in the videos, but she says that she's not really that comfortable in being in all of them. In my opinion, the daughter doesn't need to sit there and defend him. He needs to explain why he proposed to her with the purity ring.
It's not like we're trying to make it seem inappropriate, because it's not. It's a hug. If you see it as inappropriate, that's something in your mind.
Yeah, that's not on us. But so many people are seeing it, and I acknowledge that the world today is kind of more geared towards boundaries. But honestly, if you need boundaries in your family, then there's got to be something wrong in your family.
I can't. Bro, I can't. I just felt pins and needles in my throat. It is so important to have boundaries with family members. I don't care that you are blood related to people. They don't get to treat you like a doormat. They're not allowed to treat you any sort of way just because they are related to you. I'm so sorry that we've progressed forward in time to where it's not okay to use your family members as doormats just because you're related. It is not appropriate for a parent to be so interested in their child's grown adult child's love life. It is up to the parents to properly educate their children, as well as just give them safety tools on what to expect from a possible partner. What did they used to call it, or do they still call it now, like the birds and the bees talk? Doing the whole purity ring proposal is taking her autonomy away from her, which is stepping way over boundaries. It is always a big, bright red flag whenever a parent wants to continuously overstep their own child's boundaries. They've probably set those boundaries there in place for good reason.
I tell my parents and my brother, I tell my whole family anything. I know I can because they're not going to judge me.
And the thing about it is we are close, but that doesn't mean we're too close. I mean, those thoughts have never even entered into our mind before people started commenting it on our videos.
Yeah.
Honestly. We don't even think about it.
No.
It's just who we are.
We just do it, and then people started commenting that, and we're like, why are you seeing this? It's not even close to it.
And the whole hugging before each video, or the poses we do before each video, that all started back when we were the dad and daughter dream team. We had a lot of people commenting, I wish I had a dad, and stuff like that. So we figured, why not show people how close we are and maybe encourage other fathers to be closer to their kids?
I fully agree with you, bro, but stop dancing around the real issue that people have here. It is perfectly normal for fathers and daughters to be super close and dance together and whatever y'all do. Let's just hope it, none of it is inappropriate and it's just the dancing and, all that kind of stuff. But you propose to your daughter with a purity ring. Nobody has a problem with the dances as much as they do with the purity ring thing.
Now, getting back to the whole purity video thing, okay, honestly, we made that video, or I made that video for our Christian TikTok because the purity ring is a tradition in a lot of Christian households. I didn't even know what a purity ring was until I stumbled onto it online. Sarah had just been going through what she calls a dark time. She was emotionally distraught. She'd had multiple boyfriends that were just not right for her.
They wanted nothing to do with me. They wanted everything to do with what I could give them, if you know what I mean.
Girl, the answer isn't for your dad to propose to you with a purity ring. It is actually not a common thing. It only really happens with people who take things to the utter extreme. When you are in a relationship with somebody, you do not have to do anything that you don't want to do. It is not a requirement to get in bed with your partner if you do not want to. And you being 15, 16 is already still quite young to begin with anyways. Like, given the fact that there are obviously 15, 16-year-olds out there who have experimented in that way before, it is quite normal for a literal young teenager to not want to partake in having the, mattress action. If the daughter wants to completely abstain from all forms of intimacy, that is up to her, not up to the dad. It sounds like the girl has had some troubles with some bad people before, and in a sense, I can kind of relate to that because I remember when I went through a really traumatic situation, I thought I was ace for like the longest time, and it wasn't until I grew up a little bit and I started doing, my own self-discovery and my journeys and stuff. I'm still obviously not completely fixed and healed and all that kind of jazz, but you realize things about yourself, and quite honestly, having a purity ring being proposed to me after the traumatic situation, that would have made it 20 times worse. It's not about me staying pure, it's about me having my own decisions over my own damn body. And when I say no, I say no, and people respect that. It is completely understandable as to why the daughter doesn't want intimacy in her life. Honestly, our generation is so obsessed with situationships and not being exclusive or properly committing themselves to romantic relationships and whatnot, so I get it. That said, the answer to her problem shouldn't have been her dad getting down on a knee and proposing to her with a purity ring. Instead, just be there for her and help her work through her issues. People really underestimate how helpful it is to just be heard, just to be listened to, and I don't know what is so hard to understand about that.
And she wasn't into that.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I from a very young age, from the age of about 15, 16, I think, I had promised myself that I would never give that until I'm married.
That is great. That is fine. You have the be-all and end-all say when it comes to your body because it's your body, your choice. But it's not up to your dad to make that decision for you.
I don't want anything to do with that kind of relationship until I'm married.
Right. That was her choice. Now, when we finally talked about what she had gone through, and she acknowledged that, that's what they wanted and that's what she wasn't going to give them, I was proud of her for making that decision. Okay? I was proud of her. So I wanted to do something special for her. Something that would make her feel special, that would make her feel like she was loved despite the fact that all these other guys were only interested in that one thing. So I decided to get her a purity ring, and like the ring that she got in the video, That was from Walmart. Like, literally, I went to Walmart and like find the first ring that looked like an engagement ring, because that's what everybody online was saying a purity ring looked like.
So instead of spending time with her, possibly taking her out to her favorite restaurant, listening to her talk, being there for her, maybe go to some record store and find her a CD of her favorite artist, you screw all of that and decide that proposing with a purity ring was the best course of action to make her feel special. I don't know what's so special about that. I really don't. And yeah, no, I mean, nobody could really help me understand that. This is such desperate cope, and you can just admit that this wasn't the best course of action and you had poor judgment. I don't believe this guy when he says he had no idea about purity rings and stuff, because like, how do you stumble upon that? He says that it's a normal thing in faith households, but that is just not true. I know many people who are of faith, and I have never heard of this happen before, only in extreme circumstances. The lengths this man is going to justify his purity ring proposal to his daughter is ridiculous. His daughter was probably very vulnerable at the time, and honestly quite valid in not wanting intimacy in her life. The answer to that isn't a daddy-daughter purity ring proposal at a big 20 years old. It's just that if he truly believes that he did no wrong whatsoever, an almost 20-minute video trying to explain why you did this is so funny to me, because he has to be aware at some level that this was not appropriate whatsoever. So we're gonna leave it there for today. But these are just all my thoughts and opinions, my big fat drama queen opinions, and yours may differ, and I would really like to hear those down the comment section below. Have you ever had to deal with a situation similar to this? And if you have, please feel free to let me know down the comment section below. I don't know, this entire situation irked me to the extreme, and I just had to say something about it. So thank you for your stay at Yappersville today, everybody. I hope to see you again in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and most of all, love your flippin' selves.